one of this best of 5. Sorry, I'm really terrible with the numbers in my mind today. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. As we have to the top left, from Jin Green Wings, the red Zerg player, this is Rogue. Up against the purple Protoss in the bottom right, we have got ourselves Trap. How's everyone doing in the chat? Welcome to the stream, of course, if you're just tuning in. This is our last series of the day. I was thinking about maybe doing some replays, but I think instead I'm going to head off and get some other work done for a little bit. Maybe cast those replays another day or something, perhaps, but yeah. Hope you guys have been enjoying the stream. And again, it's going to be our last matchup today, I think. Just a little bit of a quiet day. I don't know what it is. Just a little bit of a quiet day, so. We've got some time to fill. Tomorrow, the next couple of days, I might do some replays then. Just to do some extra stuff here and there. Anyways, getting this going as we do see the Nexus dropping down in the natural expansion. And the probe coming over to kind of see what's going on. Cybercore dropping down at the front as well. Jin Green Rings will be somewhat happy with a second player of Jin going to be guaranteed now to go to Katowice after Maru won in the qualifier the other day. Obviously already today Dark and Dark and Bunny qualifying to the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. Crazy week of StarCraft coming up as well, by the way, this week. WCS qualifiers are kicking off. There's going to be stuff going on all week long. It's going to be busy times. Thursday is when the European WCS starts off. So we're going to be casting loads and loads of games. So make sure you check out for all of that. As we get this ready to roll. I think Tuesday night we even have an NA qualifier for WCS. So we'll be probably checking in for that as well. Casting at least a few of those matches. Maybe not all night, but we will see how it goes. Robo Facility gets dropped down here from Trap. So again, I mean, it is nice that he's changed up this build for once. It's not a Stargate first time around. And it's going to be a Dark Shrine any second now, I'd imagine, to start going in towards those DTs. You obviously get the couple of prisms with this. And again, it is usually, again, with 2 prisms, you're able to kind of really turn on the aggression and really get something done as you kind of move around. So, set up in towards that. As we have got the next gateway dropping down in this natural expansion as well. A couple of Lings from Rogue coming down to the bottom right side. 2 Lings coming down to the bottom right. Again, 3 extra gateways on the way down in the main base. Dark Shrine is coming up to completion very shortly. As we do see the Stalker able to pick its way through this Overlord at the moment. So, Stalker able to pick its way through the Overlord here. Obviously, the Overlord gets a full scout though, so Rogue knows what he's doing or what he's up against. Now he can start to prepare, make sure he's got spores down, or at least an Overseer up in time to deal with the Dark Templar. First War Prism about to head across the map, and we'll be watching that. Because that's where the Dark Templar are going to warp in from. That's where the Archons are going to be coming into play. There's going to be eyes on this here. As we do see this coming across towards the upper left-hand side. A few of those gates coming down in the main base, and again, just going to be seeing the Lings pulling up in towards the natural. Got a whole bunch of Zerglings on the way up at the moment. We see the Dark Shrine opening those DTs as the Archons coming through. Rotron maybe a little late to deal with these Archons initially, so he's going to use the Lings, which is quite expensive because the Lings obviously don't exactly trade well against Archons. And with Prism Micro, you basically just never ever will kill an Archon, while Lings will get kited for days. For the moment, though, just going to go for an Overlord, and that is going to go down before anything really comes in to defend this. Now these Queens in some interesting spots. Oh, gets the creep tumor. That's nice. Queens actually get a surround on the Prism, so it's nice to just lift up and get out before too much damage is taken. I thought that was maybe going to be a bit better, but in the end, not quite the case. Because now we see more Warpins starting to come through. Other side of the map, things now going to run on through and try and be a little bit aggressive as well. Grabbing a couple of Adepts already. The Stalker also starting to go down here, so Stalker will be picked off. And again, these pylons just coming in here too. Also setting up to try and defend at the moment. So defending away, we're going to be seeing the gates actually still maybe going down. On the other side of the map, it's a bunch of units though, so it's a big power play from Trap. As Rogue will break through into the natural, but there's not going to be much left, so now he just has to defend this attack. Well, Queens and Roaches putting out some damage. It's going to get really tough here. I mean, the Archon Micro is good, keeping those alive. Prism will get to a safe place so he can warp in, maybe. Comes all the way back around to the right. Then we actually see the Spore coming through. Rogue will hold this off. His army supply, huge here. And Trap will just GG with his attack not working out. Alright, so to the bottom right hand side, we have our Red Zerg who has taken the first game. Let's see if he can keep it up. We have Rogue from Generic Green Wings in this Generic Green Wings showdown. As we have to the top left, our Purple Protoss player, Trap. So getting this set up to roll here. Getting this ready to go in the next few moments with an Overlord and a drone on the way out. We're going to be seeing this probe coming across. And going to be looking to kind of pressure in a little bit. So looking to deal just a little bit of damage here right away. Looking to be very annoying, of course. Those probes, we've seen them from the last few days parting Hero. Like, these guys are so annoying with their workers at the start of the game. And I'm sure Trap is no difference as we see this coming across. Hatchery drops down in the natural expansion. And we are going to be seeing the probe going to come in and again start these nibbles and start kind of pushing drones away from their mineral patches they want to be. Nice from the probe so far. And it's again definitely very frustrating. I mean, comes all the way around to the other side here and we'll look to do the same again. No, messed it up though. We'll be able to send that drone off to the other side now. And again, just messing up the worker saturation here. The worker stacking that his opponent's been setting up. And you can see he forces Rogue to kind of fight back. There's probe on drone action, man. Probe on drone action. Eventually, this drone on this left side is just like, you know what, I'll go down and go make a third hatch. I'm done trying to mine with this pesky probe here. Gotta run around all these different mineral patches, fight to get my mineral patch back. It's just not fair. Rogue again, might run back against this, and just a frustrating little early game. As, well, see what Trap wants to do here. We saw him kind of switching away from the Stargate in that last game, so is it going to be back to Stargate now for game 2? You would kind of imagine so, wouldn't you? Man, we're really getting a clinic on Trap's PvZ today, aren't we? Versus Dark, versus Sue, now versus Rogue. Gonna see a lot of his games. Well, Chronoburst now an adept here as we do have the third hatch. Drop down in position. The probe just kind of sitting around at the front looking for some further information, but probe just going to patrol there. And then we'll probably be heading back home in a moment or two. Some additional pylon. Thank you for the 5-month resub, dude. As you do see the adept coming through. Again, looking to replace that probe on the bottom right side. Look to get that going. So here we go. Adept shading forwards. And we do have the Queen, the Crypt Tumor here. It's pretty okay to kind of hold this off as we're going to be seeing the probe. We're going to be backing away through the center. And there's the Stargate, so it is going to be the Oracle opening. Again, the Stalker will fight this Overlord. We kind of all know how this goes. This is what happens when you cast a lot of PvZs in a row, guys. It's like, well, I mean, what is going to happen when this Overlord gets to the high ground? Well, I wonder if the Oracle will be used for high ground vision. It's one of those cases, guys. When you cast again, this is the third PvZ series in a row, so apologies for maybe not being so interesting early game. It's just been a lot of the same stuff out of Trap. Last game was a bit of a change-up. But we're really kind of going straight back into things once again here now. Oracle being created with stat for the second Oracle here, basically, as we see a few drones from Rogue. Still just setting up. I mean, looking for this Oracle defense initially. Doesn't have a spawn in the natural, but his 2 queens are down in position over there, and they'll be able to pull up pretty quickly. In fact, he has 3 queens down in the natural, so maybe a very good defense. Doesn't even get the drone transferring because it morphs into a spore. Nicely done, as the Oracle ends up heading out over to the left-hand side. Two depth shading. And we do see the Queen able to pick up some damage onto that, onto those couple of adepts here, actually. Just a couple of adepts taking some hits. More Zerglings coming around, and just going to be seeing that Robo facility about to finish up on this natural expansion. The Twilight Council finishing up shortly too, so again swapping back in towards an Archon drop follow-up. The Temple Archive should not be far behind this. We'll see how aggressive Trap gets. We have seen him going in towards, charge pretty quickly here today as well, and, trying to get some stuff done with that here and there. So we'll see what the choices are going to be, as we do see the couple of Oracles still just hanging around in the top right-hand side. Rotron is going to be starting up on the natural, and again the Ling is just going to come down towards the third. Oh, that's a lot of Lings, and they're going to get the surround, so the choke point. Oh, somehow the Zealot snuck back in there. Well, he's still going to try and fight this Rogue, so he kind of wants these units. You can get the Adepts, he'll get one of the 2 Zealots, and I would say you go for the other one as well. It's just reducing the number of units here to defend the third base. And now he might be able to get this pile on. I mean, he has enough Lings left over. Oracles are forced back home, and the Oracles will come in and defend against those Zerglings. So Zerglings will end up backing away. As now we see Roach production from Rogue starting up. 62 drones already, so just getting himself safe against the Archon drop. Feels like Rogue has all the correct setups at the moment. Every time something is getting set to come forwards, he has the units to deflect against it, and never really allowed himself to be caught off guard. Never really kind of caught in a weird spot either. Just always having the units to deal with the attacks. Charge just now starting up, so not going to be any Zealot Warpins with this. Just the Archons who, looking around, have not even found an Overlord yet. Not going to find anything. There's an Overlord over here he could kill, and that's pretty much a free pick. As Rogue just didn't see that, so Overlord will drop, and Rogue supply blocked for the next few moments until his next Overlord finishes. But he could do with just a couple more in general, actually. Archon's coming down here. Drone taking another couple of shots. Oracle on the left side, still moving back and forth a little bit. Archon's dropping on the top side. The Roaches and the Queen's going to chase it away. And again, the Archon's going to go running away up to the top. Man, the Korean server is so laggy at the moment. It's really a bit ridiculous how laggy it is. I just can't do anything about this, guys. I really just can't do anything about this. It's really rough. Some days it's just really bad. Today is really, really bad. Archon's here. Going to force some transfusions out the Queen, and we'll still pick up a kill. Finally getting a little bit more done with these Archons, because they've been pretty passive so far. Rogue 66 workers now with the Hydra's about to pop out. It's actually got a Hydra chasing down that Prism. Gets quite a lot of damage onto this. Job well done as that Prism comes all the way up to the top side. Nicely done. So Prism escapes, and to the bottom a couple of Oracles just picking off some creep tumors, although the Hydras will try and say something about that, pushing those away without too much further issue. Sub for the box, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub as well, appreciate it. Hydras and Roaches are again coming in towards the middle of the map, and again just setting up towards this here Storm on the way up, +2 attack on the way up. We do see the Hydra speed, the Muscle Grunts there coming into play, with the Pneumatized Carapace also coming through now. Some Drop Lords going to come across the map, and going into the Lurkers behind us. The Lurker Den now starting up. Trap is, well, just to see what he does here. Rogue, of course, comes into IEM Katowice as the defending champion if he qualifies, remember. Just going to see those Overlords going to be Still heading up towards the upper left-hand side. And again, the Roaches and the Hydras still pulling down towards the bottom left here. Zealot going to run through, is going to get picked off. So Zealot goes down pretty quickly there. See those drop lords still just kind of threatening, but obviously there isn't actually anything in them. There's a lot of units in the main base to try and defend them if there was. Roaches and Hydras still coming across here to the top. We still see those overlords coming through. Just going to be seeing the lurker den. It's about to finish up in a moment or so, so that is going to change the way that this will look. Perhaps as we do see the drop committing to the main, just as there isn't anything there anymore. Everything pulled back down towards the low ground, I guess. I know, they're up to the top. The Zealots and the Archers are hiding up here. Okay, well, there's a Void Ray here to try and stop those overlords coming in the first place. And as Rogue picks off a Stasis Ward, just pressing around. I mean, this is a lot of units on the top side. As he sees the Void Ray, Rogue, a little bit of indecision, decides to back away. And will just get out without losing anything, but also without really doing anything. Oh no, he actually loses an Overlord, man. I always underestimate Void Rays when they chase down Overlords. Damn. Which the Hydra is going to be coming forwards here. You're going to be seeing those few units from Trap still coming in towards the top side. Nexus on the 4th base getting set to go as we see Roaches and Hydras going to be able to pick off a Stalker. And just going to be seeing the Spire and the Hive continue to come up right now in the main as we see Drop Lords again trying to figure out that they're over here, but the Stormers are good on the top side. Kind of feels like at the moment Rogue just can't get anything to go his way. Every attempt he has of a drop or anything kind of seems to fall apart. I mean, Stasis towards the bottom side protects as well. Will kill this Prism at least, but means at the sacrifice of about 10 Hydras. 8 if we're going to be exact. 7 in a Roach, if I'm actually going to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it's just Rogue losing a lot of units. He's got a bank because he's on 84 workers, and he starts up lurkers now as well, but that's going to be tough. It's going to be seeing the Roaches and the Hydras still coming down to the bottom, and we are going to be seeing the Hydras pulling back a little bit against those couple of Storms. The lurkers are actually going to come in flank in from the top side of this. They don't have adaptive talents yet, so they're not exactly the fastest burrowers in the world, which is actually a little bit of a shame. Because otherwise they could have burrowed right on top of that, and that might have been pretty good. Zealots meanwhile run by in towards the main, half of them into the natural perhaps, but already Hydra's actually here to deal with the fact that they're in the natural. Zealots in the main getting clumped up a little bit as well as they try and run through these gaps, and well, actually, not a lot done here. Trap just gives away all of those Zealots, and that's a lot of Zealots that just go down for nothing. It's a lot of that goes down. Just going to be seeing again the Lings coming up to the top side. We're seeing a couple of Zealots going to go down here, and again we still have this army of our Protoss player just moving around looking for the openings at the moment. A couple of lurkers getting picked off here as again seeing some damage dealt. Up on the top, Lings and Roach, some Hydras. Also wanted to push around, going to see a Zealot getting picked off pretty quickly, and going to be seeing the Void Ray up on the top, taking some shots, but still, it feels like Rogue is just playing in, a game that doesn't really bring him anything at the moment. He's just not really doing anything with these attacks or anything so far. Up the ramp though, the High Templars do get their Stormers off. I mean, at least he gets the kills, but I mean, if he targeted the High Templar a bit faster rather than jumping right on top of those, he probably could have got the High Templar and the Immortal anyway, but did wait a while. The Storm's obviously covering the army does hurt. Tempest starting to come up, and there's definitely not much of a response to Tempest here from Rogue unless he somehow wins the fight and gets the Hydras underneath them. But it does kind of force, just forces Lurkers to back away, because if you just sit around with Tempest, you're going to slowly pick away at the Lurkers, and then you're slowly going to just be losing your units. Honestly, that's not what you want as the Zerg, who is setting up a surround here. Rogue wants to collapse in on this army. There we go, he comes down this ramp over here, but it doesn't really work out. Those units get pushed away instantly. There's still Lurkers on either side of this, but again, as soon as those Templars start firing on them, it's not really going to end up being that great for him. Rogue moves all the way around to the top. He starts to get some Corruptors coming up, so tries to get something against this. He tries to run down the ramp again. In fairness, the High Templar are beginning to run out of Storms a little bit, as the Lurkers will get themselves onto this base. Hydras and Lings still running through also. These probes pulling away to the left side. And again, these Templars still just firing, and Overseers taking a bit of a beating at the moment. One more damage being dealt. On the bottom, we see some of these Zalts going to run by as well. Oh, man. I mean, the units of Rogue just going to have to back away, and just going to be seeing a couple more Corruptors on the way out. We do have a few more Zerglings going down. A little bit of a run by that Rogue was somewhat being able to shut down, but now Trap is back to being maxed out. He's got a Mothership, Tempest, and all sorts. What on earth do you do right now as Rogue? Really not much at all. 118 to 85 army supply. Wings to the top, going to try and shut down a run by, but again, you just can't fight this army with the Pros play. It feels like I've been saying it for a little while, but I think it's very true. There's nothing you can really do to fight this here. It is really, really tough. Tempest shot goes down. See some Crooks on the top side. Being picked away at as well. God, those Tempest shots go in the distance. Lurkers are going to burrow up. I mean, more Hydras are going to run in here. The Corruptors will go for the Mothership. And actually, I mean, getting the Mothership is kind of nice. Bit of a delayed reaction to Storm there from Trap. I mean, he's still going to keep pushing forwards, right? Even if he falls back, he's got carriers behind it too. If you can't deal with this army, how do you deal with an army with carriers involved? You kind of just don't. Rogue is truly, truly, at this point, in a lot of trouble. Hydras and Corruptors going to come down the right side, seeing what's going on, seeing where they can go. Mothership going to Corona Boost again. Those cannons just setting up on the low ground here. DT going to start picking away at this hatchery. So DT deals some damage. 7 Lurkers coming in. Again, that melee upgrade gets started as well. Yeah, something from Rogue. I'm just trying to think of things to talk about for him, because otherwise it feels like he's doing the same thing he's tried 100 times this game. I mean, okay, he's adding in a couple of Vipers. Well, I kind of want to believe the Vipers will do something before they get shot down by the Tempest. But even if you abduct like 4 units in here, does that make the difference? Is that what's going to kill this army? I still don't really think so. I mean, the Lurker number is still terrifying, and I'm not sure why there isn't a, you know, a bit of, okay, well, there we go. I was going to say, why isn't there an Oracle to Revelate? There is. Turns out it was right there, so Revelation comes down. And now the Tempest can obviously just hunt those Lurkers. I mean, they burrow over there, you know where they are. I mean, Corruptors are going to try and buy some time, but, I mean, there's barely any Corruptors as well, right? Lurker's going to unburrow again. Now the Tempest shot's starting to come down on them, and again, he's just going to push them away to the top side. Rogue coming in from the bottom as well, but a couple of Archons already kind of holding this position off. And there's the Lurkers burrowing up once more. As we see Overseers, Hydras, and Lings going to be positioning around. We see a few changes from Rogue, going to be pushing up in towards the middle of the map. And again, the rest of this army coming across. Going to see these couple of Overlords still going down as well. Good pickoffs here by Trap. I mean, so patient as well. I mean, I guess he knows that in this position, as long as he just doesn't overcommit, he can't really lose the game. So he's just playing it safely and slowly, but again, being pretty patient for this at the moment. Doing a decent job. Moving down to the bottom side, we're going to be seeing the Lurkers burrowed up once again here. I mean, here we go. Looks like the bigger fight's going to finally break out. Storm's coming down en masse. As Trap actually loses a lot in the start of this. Really? Is Trap actually starting to lose this fight? No. He loses a lot of workers, and maybe he loses this base, but he doesn't lose the fight overall. Though no detection against the last Lurker or two here on the high ground until it gets unburrowed. Now the last few Lurkers going down as they're revelated. Well, Trap loses a 5th base. That's something from Rogue. It's a fight that goes better than I thought it would. A fight that goes way better than I thought it would. Trap coming over to the right side, picks off that hatchery. So hatchery will fall. And again, the Corruptors are going to be coming in. Oh, from the right, going to be jumping down. And Storm coming in. Corruptors taking quite a bit of damage. Man, as if Rogue Achinelli. I mean, yeah. Really? I'm trying to think about this fast fight that we just saw. Storm's going down en masse against these Corruptors still, by the way. I mean, the issue now is Rogue has like 12 Corruptors and 6 Hydras. Like, he still can't actually win a fight. He has no Great Aspire. It's just now started, so he's getting some more Lurkers up again. I mean, Lurkers are the answer, I suppose, but I just can't believe Trap is having so much difficulty closing this out. I mean, a couple good fights from Rogue, and suddenly it's turning around completely. Corruptor's coming in again. There isn't much left in the skies anymore. Lurkers on the high ground. Trap gonna drop that storm on the Corruptors, man. They are so low. Backing away here, of course, waiting to let the, backing away from the Lurkers. I guess he just doesn't feel like he has the numbers still. He will push up to this base, though, and he will be able to deny one of Rogue's mining bases now. Another storm coming into play. Lurkers still firing, and we are going to be seeing the Stalkers going to be able to try and get another couple of Hydras. Another storm drops down. Yeah, and doing a good job of this at the moment. And as we are going to be seeing the 2 extra Immortals, the Mother Ship, all of this currently on the way out. Just going to be seeing still Hydras and Corruptors up the right side. Going to be seeing the Lurkers on the way down. Oh, still burrowed up over there as well. Just going to be seeing the Zealot coming through, hitting that hatchery. I mean, Rogue is just trying to stay alive. I'm just surprised Trap hasn't found a way to end it. Like, I mean, these Lurkers are buying a lot of time, and I mean, Trap now is reset to kind of, I mean, Archon, Immortal, Templar, and Void Ray. There's no Tempest or Carriers in this any longer, so, well, I want to believe. Looks like I'm going to start running forwards here. Going to see a storm on the ramp. Storm to the right side. Couple Hydras getting sectioned off. So the Zealot runs in on the bottom side. Picking away through a few of these drones. Trap backing away once more. See Lurk is going to burrow up on the upper right. Still this army pushing around. Rogue has to keep on relocating to kind of stay somewhat safe against it, to be able to not just die outright. Remember, Rogue's 1-up in the series, guys. It's a best of 5. Rogue just trying to wear Trap down, but now I really don't see how Rogue fights this. I mean, I get that Lurkers are scary and stuff, but there's so many storms, there's Mothership, there's, I mean, Archons, Immortals. There's so many units. Going down the bottom side instead, maybe just looking to try and deny the base. The storms on the ramp. Obviously, the Lurkers having to reposition here is going to be somewhat painful. They do get burrowed up, but there isn't any detect. Oh, no, there is Overseers on the top side. I thought the Lurkers weren't firing, though. Interesting. Rogue now, though, has bled off pretty much all of his units. He actually has some Broodlords here, and Trap is he really going to back away and respect the Broodlords? Ay, Trap is just so scared to end this game, I think. He's afraid after, I think, losing the previous fight. He was trying to play it calm, and then suddenly he's like, oh, wait, that fight didn't go so great for me. Now he's really a little bit afraid. And, well, I mean, he still will close it out. Just relocates. Makes life difficult for Rogue, I guess. It makes it so that it's less likely. As we have game number 3. Tied up here, 1-1 between Rogue and Trap. That's to the bottom left-hand side. Our red Zerg player from Jinner is Rogue, opening hatch gas and pool. Top right, our purple Protoss is Trap. Trap, in that last game, I really felt won the game about 10-15 minutes before the game ended. But was very, I mean, maybe not that long, but the game was very, very over. As we get this ready to go. You can see the Stargate dropping down in the main base. You'll be setting this up as we do see the Overlord coming through the top side of the map. Again, tied up 1-1 here. Going into this game 3 now. Getting this set to go. Phoenix on the way up here from our Protoss player, so going into that Stargate once again. When we saw him play Phoenix before, he has played double Stargate Phoenix. I was actually on this map as well. He used the double Stargate Phoenix against Dark, and somehow Dark managed to turn it around. It was actually ridiculous, that game. Yeah, the way he used the Swarm Hosts. Swarm Hosts are very good on this map if you clean out the rocks, etc. As the Zerg player, so we'll see if that's something the Zerg will do. Just so you can get kind of a couple of different directions out and away with the Swarm Host before being flanked down or so. Phoenix up through the top side, and we'll be heading across to see what it can get up to. So Phoenix going to deal some damage here. The Overlord taking quite a few shots at the moment. Overlord is going to be dropping in a moment or so, so Overlord will go down. That Overlord going down. Let's see the Oracle on the bottom side. Pushing in. Let's see what I can do as well. Stargate's about halfway done here, so that's going to be coming up in a moment or so. There's again a couple of gateways morphing into warp gates. We see these Adepts still moving through as well. And we do see there's a couple of Queens of Rogue just going to be able to help push those Adepts back out into the center of the map. So Adepts back out into the middle of the map here. Boom, just like that. And these Adepts gathering up on the pylon. And again, just going to be seeing the Zerglings from Rogue just getting set up at the moment. Rotron, Blair, getting ready to roll. We see a Spore Crawler nearly picks off the Phoenix. Nearly. Obviously just trying to get some drones there. Gets two of them with the Oracle in the end as Rotron about to finish from Rogue. And again, very typical, just Rotron and the Lair combination at the moment here. Nothing too out of the ordinary from what we've been seeing. Rogue just sticking very much so to the same sort of styles here throughout the games. Obviously the double Stargate is down as well if you've been watching that production tab. And the Phoenix numbers are rising up, so Trap will start moving on the map to see what sort of damage he can get done. And winner of this will become one map away from qualifying to IEM Katowice. As Phoenix push out a couple of shots onto the Overlord there already. Phoenix now through the center of the map as well. You can see that Phoenix taking quite a lot of damage as it comes down to the bottom side. Robo facilities, two of them on the way up now here also. So again, a couple of Robos into play. You're going to be seeing the Spire from Rogue coming up onto the Natural as we just see these couple of Phoenix continue to nibble away at those Queens there, dealing some good damage. And, well, now we're going to be seeing those Phoenix heading out through the bottom side and back home. Help deal with a few of these Roaches that are attacking, but doesn't see them like he needs to. Probably just going to lift them up with the Phoenix to get some free kills, of course. Things coming over, a couple drones going down. Fortunate Twilight Council coming into play as well. And we do see those Lings picking off all of those Adepts and Zealots. Just a good little bit of damage done there. The last Zealots on the right side. Going to be able to pick off a couple more of those Roaches. So Roaches still going down. Again, the Oracle able to push those Lings back. Phoenix coming over, going to be able to pick off the Overlord. So Overlord going down as well. Five more gates on the way up. Still getting this set to go. And obviously with the extra gateways, it's just the free bases being established. I mean, the Immortal production is well underway. We're going to opt for the Corruptor response on this map, just like Dark did as well, actually. So going to the Corruptors and now going into the Infestation Pit. So long as though he wants to play in towards the Swarm Host here as well. There's the Corruptors coming in, trying to fight those Phoenix. The shield battery saved it for a little while. There's only a Stalker in the center on the ground, so not a lot. Those Corruptors actually doing quite a lot against those Phoenix as they try and find a way out of here. A couple of Lings going to jump in on the sentry, but there's other units here as well. Started up a caustic spray, but only on a couple of the corruptors. Did he use it on most of them? No, just on one or two. Not that bad then. Corruptor's going to try and caustic spray here, but extra stalkers are warped in, and these corruptors are going to be pushed out. Good defense. 7 swarm hosts on the way up now on this bottom side. We're still coming through. We are going to be seeing Oracle taking a little bit of a hit there. Corruptor's coming back over to the right and down to the bottom. Corruptor's still trying to take these fights every now and then. Again, here come the Swarm Hosts. Storm should be ready for the first wave of Swarm Hosts Locusts. Be able to deal with that without too much of an issue. So Swarm Host running through the bottom side. Ling's taking that watchtower for a little while. Seven Swarm was still on the way through here. Corruptor's coming back through the center. Ling's across the map here from Rogue as well. Wanting to get very aggressive is again those High Templar just chilling out. We see these Immortals moving around a little bit as well. There's the first wave of Locusts, but they're not going to do much at all. The Stormers were good. Caustic sprays the front to try and open the wall for the Zerglings. I like the idea, and maybe it will continue to work for the next round of Lings running by, but so far Trap defends without really batting an eye without even blinking, I think, because he's just like, yeah, okay, well, that wasn't difficult, was it? Swarm's coming across again. Well, a few more of them this time around. It's going to be a little bit more synced up, so a few more Locusts to worry about. Corruptor's up to the top. Hive on the way now from Rogue as he heads into the next stage of his game. And at this point, we'll start thinking, well, eventually when my Swarm Hosts run out, what's my plan then? As we see Trap. Oh my god, he was out of position. This Nexus is going to die. He just had nothing in location. I was obviously expecting the Swarm Hosts to completely change up the direction they were coming in from. Trap will re-expand to that bottom side base. I still see the Nexus on the top side getting set up too. Corruptors still coming forwards. Want to try and caustic spray down the Nexus as well. And there we go. Caustic spray is being dropped already. That Nexus taking quite a bit of damage. A couple of Stalkers only to really defend. I mean, he could drop Storm. He doesn't go for it. So now Trap is going to be kept. Oh no, he moves away with the Stalkers coming in. Okay. Obviously, Trap would have been put down to essentially 2 bases there. That would have hurt. There's no. Locusts are able to jump on top of a High Templar already, so High Templar going down. I mean, the Stormers otherwise on top of that are good. As the Locusts, again, just trying to buy some time. Phoenix are being chased by Corruptors, but the Corruptors get turned away by the rest of the army. Now we see Roaches and Ravagers are going to be trying to set up towards the top side. Greater Spy on the way in, so you'll have a bit of a better use for these Corruptors in the long game, being able to morph them into Broodlords. As you see, this army of Trap is starting to move down the bottom side, though, so Swarm Hosts need to come off cooldown here. He needs the Locusts to help defend this. Corruptors are looking around. They don't find anything yet. The Phoenix on the bottom side. I guess they also don't have their caustic spray back, or he just feels as though it's better to have those Corruptors on the bottom. He's got Roaches picking through that base anyways. And here we go. We're going to see the Phoenix are going to get picked away out here pretty quickly. The Ravagers pushing in for the Roaches. He has to use those Locusts so defensively. They get put down so far away. They're never going to connect on this army, as we do see the Protoss just backing off. So Trap not going to be able to do much there. This Nexus still low. Obviously, the Nexus on the bottom side is also back up. As Trap, using the Phoenix to lift up a bunch of the Ravagers. Yeah, the Phoenix numbers definitely dropping, but definitely taking down value with them. I mean, 25 more Roaches in production. That is not really what you want to be rebuilding as Rogue. Resources lost fairly even. Those Locusts obviously found a good amount of damage themselves. See the Corruptors keep on coming through. The Roaches trying to fight as well. The Phoenix not really able to do that much. You see the Hatchery on the bottom side gets picked off right away there. As you're going to be seeing those Corruptors taking a bunch of damage. Locust will drop in and will chase High Templar. I mean, we'll actually just not get that kill on the bottom side Templar. Again, having to use these Swarmers so defensively, though, really hurts. Now Roach Ravagers counterattacking. I mean, this base I feel dies, because you could drop like a couple Corrosive Biles in here and it would basically go down. Maybe not quite a couple. He actually recalls a bunch of his army over to defend. But he has more than a couple Corrosive Biles, and that's the thing. The Biles will come down. He'll actually go for the couple of Immortals here as well. Oh, the base doesn't drop just yet. One more Corrosive Bile, and it will go low. It's now actually willed down to a single Corrosive Bile, but obviously he's pushed out of position here, Rogue. So tough for him to actually get in there and to finish that off, as this army continues to hunt, and the Phoenix are still lifting up Ravagers. These are so expensive. This is so expensive. God damn. Army from Trap around the top side then. Swords Lucas are going to be able to get this in the end as the probes go down too. Yeah, it kind of almost feels like a bit of a waste of Lucas because it's like, well, I mean, it's a little bit of a shame. So you see these Archons taking a little bit of damage still as you're going to try and see them hunting down those Brewers. We see Brewers continue to go down here. Mortals backing away towards the top side. We turn around once more as those Roaches and Ravagers continue to press in. Still got those Tempests running away through the top again. So they're going to be getting out of here. So you see the Corruptors continue to fight again. Roaches and the Ravagers still fighting. We see one Tempest going down. We see an Immortal taking some damage as well. Roaches again continue to jump on top of this. Oh my god, it's so laggy. Rogue has too much though, and I think Trap is not really going to be able to hold this off any longer. A couple of Tempests are out, so maybe? I mean, these Broods are being kept alive by the Queens at the moment. I mean, even if you stay alive here as Trap, you're going to be down a lot, because you're probably going to lose this base as well by the time Rogue is done. Nope, Rogue's just going to move back through the middle. Obviously, Rogue now, though, buys himself a lot of time to build up into Corruptors. Again, guys, I'm sorry for the lag. Korean server, I can't fix it. I mean, it tracks us across multiple internet connections. And some days it's fine. Today it's been really bad, so I'm so sorry. It's ruining the series for me a little bit as well. I'm not having much fun watching it at about 10 FPS. It's not the greatest. If you want to check out a lag-free stream, check out Zombie Grubs. She's casting this series as well. And as you see, these Locusts are going to start jumping forwards towards that third. So Locusts going to be moving in over there, as we do see the rest of the zombie coming down to the bottom. Oh, man. Again, Trap's just out of position with that army down on the bottom right-hand side. And instantly another Nexus goes down. Now Trap's super split up. He either has to be all the way down here or all the way up here. And it's almost impossible for him to know where those swarm hosts are going to be. It's going to be really tough for him to defend. Really tough for him to defend. So it's going to charge in towards a Roach right there. So Roach will get taken down. These other Roaches of Rogue continue to come over as well. Going to pick off a few of these Zealots right here. So a few Zealots getting picked off. And as we are going to be seeing the... again, Roaches picking this off pretty easily. To the bottom right, we see Corruptors, Locusts, etc. flying in. Again, some extra Storms coming down here too, as we have got the more Locusts dropping down. Roaches still moving across over to the right side. And we are going to be seeing 2 more Void Rays, Blink, all of this getting set up now. Once we have those Corruptors, going to try and, again, just see what else they can perhaps get done. In terms of this army, it's still nice from Trap, like it's still kind of the right composition. It's just, will you have enough of it to take, you know, a stretched out game, you know, to take this into a longer game? Hasn't even been able to rebuild this base. Corruptor count is very high as well, and jumps in, grabs a Tempest. Just going to kite backwards. Now he gets a second. Super low. Swarmhosts are going to come in, flanking in on this army as well. Going to drop on top. I mean, the High Templar are in trouble. 2 High Templar go down. The Immortals, one of those goes down as well. I mean, it's just, again, Rogue getting further and further into the lead of this game. Free, looking to take it to a 2-1 scoreline. Looking to try and qualify to Katowice so that he can try and defend his title. We're just dropping down here as we see those Zealots continue to get cleaned out. Here you go, pressing forwards. Tempest and Void Rays. We see the split here of these Corruptors as well coming through. Void Rays going to be prismatically aligned as we see a lot of these Tempests going down. Void Rays now getting picked off as well. The Ravagers will start to overflow on the ground. There's no Storms remaining. And with the Broods here too, I mean, it's just an additional little bit of something. Corruptors aren't actually fighting the Voids for some reason. They were just a bit too far forwards. But over to half the supply of his opponent. Trap will not really have much of an option other than to tap out of this third game and to give Rogue the lead in the series. And Rogue will be 1 map away from qualifying now as we see some more Corrosive Bowels dropping down. Broodlings dropping in. Stalker's being chased away. There's GG. Rogue takes the lead once again. Bottom left-hand side, our red Zerg player. This is Rogue. At the top right, our purple Protoss is, of course, Trap, who has not been having a couple of pretty games. Even the game he won was messy. Shouldn't have been as difficult as it was with the position he got into. Probe from Trap here comes down in the bottom left hand side, going to be seeing what's going on. Look at that hatchery dropping down on the natural expansion. As you see, the probe going to hop up in towards the main base, and again just going to have a little bit of a scout around, see what's up. Hatch got some pull as the opening here. We see the gateway coming down at the front here as well from our Protoss player. As we get this set to roll. Again, there's a couple of drones just on the way out and jumping in towards the extractor. And as you do see the hatchery coming down on the natural. The Overlord just moving out from Rogue. Moving through the center of the map. So Overlord from Rogue comes through the bottom side. Again, to the top we have this Overlord heading towards the upper right hand side as well. The game of Automaton is not too exciting. I mean, I guess we have the probe fighting away. Just now picked up the minerals action and starting to probably head on out of there. Not really much for it to stick around in the main base for. Probe's going to patrol a little bit here out the front. We do see that hatchery dropping down on the third base, so getting that hatch down. The Adept going to start shading through the center of the map as well, so Adept comes shading through the middle here. With the fact that we do have the Warp Gate on the way out, Stargate coming down in the main. All of this getting set to go as we have the Adept continuing down to the bottom left hand side. Link speed on the way up from Rogue as well. And a couple of Lings were just nibbling away on those rocks there for a moment or two. Now going to have a little bit of fight as we're going to see the Queen. Going to be jumping on towards that Adept, and the Adept does go down. So the Adept taken down there. We're just sitting up in the high ground. Trap back into the Stargate play. Again, he opened up with non-Stargate in game 1 of this series, but obviously didn't really enjoy that. That was actually probably the most decisive game of the series so far in Rogue's favor. A couple of Adepts going to be chasing down those Zerglings, so going through the center of the map, and we are going to be seeing one Zerglin already getting picked off. The other Lings running down to the bottom. That Robo Facility now coming up here as well. So gets that going too. And these other Adepts continue to come through to the bottom side to see what's up next. So 2 Adepts coming down. And we've seen them showing up as the Queen is just hanging out. Ling's going to come in for a bit of a surround, but I mean, plenty of damage done. The Adepts going to be pushed away. More drones coming through. A couple of Zealots on the way up, and just going to be seeing those Zerglings of Rogue still coming over to try and do a little bit more themselves. Rocharon is dropping down in the natural expansion here, and again, a couple of Oracles just hanging around the upper side. I can try dive in right now also, but to not really much avail, honestly. Five drones on the way out, and we do see those Lings again going to be pulling back down to the bottom. Creeps still pressing through. Forge on the way up. Temple Archives building. Warp Prism on its way out as well. Those couple of oracles unable to find much to do here. 7 roaches on the way out. Rogue is playing the same style again, just the roaches, the lair coming through, all of this. The Oracle's going to be, again, just giving them map control then as the third base comes in. Did you actually have to pull back here a little bit to deal with these Zerglings? Yeah, a couple of Adepts and Zealots were out of position. Not enough Lings to surround those as we saw in one of the previous games. I think it's Port Alexander. So not enough to really do too much there, but still enough to kind of hold this off. Plus 1 missile attack is now on the way down on the Evo Chamber. Roach speed getting started on the Roach Roaring as well. And again, just going to be seeing the second robot facility about to complete here means that he's going to be able to get a few mortals on the way out. So just pumping up into that as again Rogue, lots of roaches, roach speed plus 1, getting that in time to deal with these Archons. Gonna be all good. I just then dropping down in the back of this third base, and again, just seeing those couple of Archons chasing down that Overseer. Overseer does get picked off. The other roaches of Rogue going to be heading back through the center. Oracle is chased away down to the bottom side. We'll back up to the upper right. A couple more gateways coming down now. So getting these couple of extra gates down. And again, a couple of Zealots, Immortals, the Stalker, Adept. All of this gathering together. Queen's pushing forwards with the creep spread as well. So pressing this through. As you do see, the Storm is just about halfway done. Going to be finishing up shortly. So Storm coming in there. Changeling gets taken down. You do see the +2 attack upgrade here. Is coming down on the Forge. Prism loads up 2 Archons, continues to the top right, and picks off a Zergling. Bruce Spines is just over halfway done from Rogue. There's the Roaches coming in towards the top. Hydra's in the center. Single Zergling goes out to the right side as well. Just being sent out over here to have a little look as what is going on. And that Groove Spine's going to finish it up in a moment or so from Rogue here as you see the 2 Archons lifting into the Prism. And still more of this army of Rogue heading in towards the upper right hand side. Well, Rogue's being allowed to just go in towards his Roaches and his Hydras. This is looking a lot like Port Alexander though, which obviously didn't really end up being all that great for didn't end up being all that great for our Zerg player. Going towards that Lurker Den. The Infestation Pit 2. Not to drop Lords. Loaded up right now. Split from Trap in the main base is the same as before. A couple Archons. The Zealots in position. An Oracle moving around. So no Voidray to try and pick up an Overlord or so as they fly on in. Try and drop into here anyways though. The Archon's going to lift up. The Zealots don't actually have charge yet. Oh my god. Did Trap forget charge? Why on earth doesn't he have charge? It's one of those things you just have at this stage of the game. I didn't even think about it because when don't you have charge? Oh my god. And Trap. I mean, his charge isn't here. He just lost a high template without actually doing anything. He's going to recall into his own main with some Immortals to be able to fight this. I mean, he kind of needs a Storm or two, I feel. Roaches and Hydras also pressing forwards on the front. I mean, in the main base, this army is actually just not cutting it from Trap. I mean, a couple of Zealots walked in. They're not going to do too great. Maybe the Immortal Micro with the Warp Prism will be good enough. As we're going to see, I think these units are going to jump up into the main base as well. The rest of the army now coming up here too, but Rogue is just picking this apart. So many units jumping up here. Hydras, Roaches, all pressing forwards. And this is looking very, very bad at the moment for Mr. Trap, as Rogue has so much. I mean, he has units rallying in towards the third base as well, though a couple of those maybe needs to be a little bit more slow and steady. Maybe getting a little bit overzealous there. Rogue actually just dropped like 20 supply, so did lose his last few units. Third attack upgrade on the Forge being chrono boosted out, so getting that set up. And you see those roaches, a couple lurkers. All of this getting set to go at the moment now as we have the Lings on the Hydras from Rogue just backing away a little bit. Couple of lurkers on the way down. On the right side we see 2 lurkers going to be dropping in towards the main. I mean, obviously, if the lurker's coming up now, Rogue has that follow-up, and he's in a much better position to use these lurkers than he was before. Tell you what, there's not going to be detection here right away, almost definitely is. This mineral line is going to be in some trouble. Probes are going to start taking hits. The lurkers will actually fight stalkers for a moment or two, but now the rest of the army coming in from a little bit of an angle where you can surround this as well. The High Templars do not have Storm yet. Oh my god, he's only just starting to get the Storm energy up. Now the lurkers are there, and they're going to be able to hold this position in the main base. The lurkers are still being a frustration. Trap not able to mine, not able to hold a 4th. Stalker's coming in, taking some more shots. He needs the Observer, which is on its way, and now finally a couple more probes going down as he got a little bit angsty, waiting to send them back too early, but just more damage taken. Man, this is rough as we see the Lings, the Hydras, and the Lurkers. All of this from Rogue set up in the center. Well, again, he's keeping Trap kind of pinned down, which is what he needs if he wants to make this composition work. He's keeping him from expanding, and he's keeping him away from the kind of the tier 3 tech. There's a couple of lurker drops heading over to the right side. This is a lot of Immortals. This is a lot of Storm and a couple of Archons mixed in too. I mean, it's still a good composition out of Trap. It's a good number of units. Where those drop lords go? I don't even know where they went to, actually. I think they turned back around. Extra High Templar warping in the back. Probably wants to add some extra Archons into this. Well, Rogue, he's in danger. He's in danger now because his army supply is just even with his opponents. Well, those lurkers did make it across the map. Just didn't see them there. He's missing 4 lurkers because they're across there too. First start of this fight is already looking kind of good for Trap, who again, if he wins this fight, maybe can win this game because it's kind of his last-ditch effort with no third base, his main base being picked away by lurkers as well. Rogue just needs to somehow find a way to hold on, but I don't know. I mean, it's going to get a little bit messy here soon. Lurkers starting to burrow towards the back. They're spreading out. They kind of force this army into a bit of a corner. Lings spawn from the main base. He's got some spines up here to try and buy time. Rogue loses out on his natural expansion. Still has more Hydras on the way. And he's got this army sort of stuck in position there, unable to really do much. You see 2 Immortals coming over, should be able to pick this off already. 2 of the Lurkers went down. So some Immortals cleaning out. The Spines on the high ground will not really on their own be able to hold. Lurkers are going to take this as an opportunity to dive onto the army. A couple of Archons in the background get taken down. In fact, all the Archons on the low ground there got taken down. That was nice. High Templar's still trying to get some Storms off. There's actually only a couple of High Templar remaining. Another Archon goes down. Rogue desperate trying to find a way to actually fight this here. Observers very important in this fight, although maybe we can actually see those Observers being sniped. There's 3 of them though. I just have to put in some real work to make that happen. I mean, Rogue is just stuck on this ramp. Lurkers want to come up here as well, but again, it's just such a choke point. We'll target down an Immortal there while they were targeting something else. Now with the attempt to recall, the Immortals will all go down. Only an Archon saved. 61 to 53 workers. 2 Lurkers lifted up, and this Overlord ready to come back down and maybe harass some more. Gold base up from Rogue as well, so he lost this natural. Obviously, Trap is still only on 3 bases of his own, and now his composition, as he loses an Immortal already, his composition is not what it once was. This used to be so many Immortals, now it's nowhere near the same. His tech count reset. Tries to take a forward 4th base right in the center of the map here, but will he be able to keep that alive? Those Lurkers lifting up from the side again, just trying to find any position where they can be a frustration at this point. Gonna go for this next of these Stalkers on the slow warping because the pylons aren't connected to the Nexus anymore. Oh my god, well he's gonna be able to pick these off, but only just, and that was a big distraction. Imagine they got into other mineral lines in the meantime. Well, never mind that now. Lurker Den has to be rebuilt here. It was killed off in the previous fight. So is the spawning pool. In fact, Rogue can only make Hydras at the moment. Well, Trap's army is rebuilding a little bit. Rogue didn't find a way to kind of close things down before that. There you go. Units coming up this ramp. A couple of Zealots already being picked away at. A couple of Zealots going down. Army in the middle. And Rogue just needs to try and keep on defending. Again, Lurker down on the way back up. I mean, the fact you can't build anything other than Hydras is kind of a little bit amusing, I guess. Lurker's Burrow gets a couple of shots off. The Storm was pretty fast to come down there from Trap, though. These three Lurkers kind of left on their own for a moment or so. Now a big concave, though. Storms will have to be very good. The first Storm, not exactly the largest of Storms we've seen. Hydras are forced to kind of pull away as you see this bottom right base. Well, that's in trouble now. Maybe Rogue can set up the Lurker concave down on this low ground here in case Trap moves back through it. I don't know what you do, actually. It's a really weird set of games we're seeing between these guys, and this game is very strange. Trap didn't get that fourth base up. That was cancelled. With that, I mean, main base, natural, and third are so close to mining out. He's barely on any income at all right now. You can see that Rogue is mining almost twice as much as Trap at this moment. So Trap has basically nothing left over anymore. Setting up. Lurkers behind Spore Crawlers now. Spore's going to pull back just a little bit. Couple of Lurker shots are good there. Only one Observer and it is in that army. If that Observer goes down, the Lurkers become unkillable because there's no Revelation, there's no Oracle. Two more Observers just being built in production. Trap realizes his issue. There's a few Hydras coming to try and cancel this Nexus and start stepping them along. I mean, it's not going to go down, but it is going to take damage. Those Hydras end up running away. Rogue has this left-hand side base on the way up now as well. He loses this base here. The Zalt's finally picking that off. Wasn't killed off earlier. And again, Rogue just playing this out slow at the moment. Just taking his time about it. Immortals and HTs in the mix right now. Rogue is maxing out once again. Tempest on the way out from Trap, who is getting that fourth base up, and that is so essential for him. Having that fourth base is going to be huge. So many Lurkers. Well, they have to make sure they reposition, because repositioning from here to here actually takes quite a while. Although if the gold base mine now, you could kill off these rocks, then he has much easier access between those bases. Trap decides to pull back, playing it safe. Lurkers are going to burrow down, and oh, he's going to jump on this. The High Templar aren't far enough forward to get some any damage done. Oh my god, that one Archon. Oh, he didn't actually save the low health Archon. I thought he did. The low health Archon did go down. Well, there's a few Lurkers there. He's going to bring a few around the right side. He's actually going for a bit of a larger push towards this base up here now. I mean, those Lurkers are still in good numbers. And there is still a couple Lurkers also heading towards his base over in this direction. Those Lurkers going to power up. I mean, that's going to be dealt with pretty quickly. Rogue, I mean, he sees the entire army there. That's his position or his opportunity to move in. And this base is a goner. This base is going down. No doubt about it. So, recalls the probes over to the new Nexus, I imagine. And it will keep him alive at least. It's something. But losing the gas on the base that actually has gas left. Now he's only got one base of gas income. That doesn't support a lot of Protoss units. Let me tell you that right now. Let me tell you that right now. That does not support any gas-based units at all, actually. It's really, really rough. As you see the Lurkers, the Hydras, the Lings coming back up the ramp on the right side now. This is going to be the base he wants to focus on. Lurkers burrow in terrifying numbers. Storms starting to drop down. There's a good amount of Storms available, and that's one of the big things that's very good here for Trap. Going to be seeing the Lurkers dealing some good damage, and we're just seeing a few of them unburrowing, pushing further forward. Going to get towards the mineral line. It's another gas not mine, and suddenly Trap can't build anything else. 15 more Hydras on the way out. Spire coming through, so Rogue can start building some Corruptors probably against those Tempests. Rogue still pressing forward. He wants to kill this base. He knows how important it is for him to get rid of this. He knows that he could win this game very soon if this fourth base is killed. Fourth base goes down again. The Nexus now on the way back up on the third base that we just saw denied. High Templars have pretty much used all their energy. There's a few. Okay, I actually lied. There's about 3 or 4 with full energy still. Because they're full energy, their energy bars don't show on damaged seconds. Another Storm. Hydras have to split away again. Another Hydra's going down. Lurker's still fighting. Going to be seeing one more Storm on the left side. Hydra's still pressing through. Another Immortal going down. Another couple of Tempest shots firing away there. And this army of Trap struggling at the moment. You see the Lurkers burrowing in. And already again, the Immortal's taking a little bit more damage. Lurkers keep pressing forward, setting themselves up into those concaves. And here we go now. This army's just going to commit onto this. These Immortals are in trouble. Separated from the army on the left side, which is where the High Templar went. And Rogue is bullying his way to IEM Katowice 2019. the defending champion, will represent Jin Green Rings there once again, as he'll look to do the incredible and go back to back. Ling's being hit by those storms. I mean, Hydras keep on picking their way through probes. The Cyber Core's going down. The pile, I mean, he's broken through into the natural, and I mean, those Tempests are cute and all, but they're not going to last. They're not going to be able to do enough here. Trap has 56 supplies, 7 workers, 49 army. Absolutely nothing left for him to do. He has barely any income. He's only mining minerals, not keeping gas. He's only going to be able to warp in zealots. I mean, he's going to try and hold on. Obviously, it's a huge tournament. It's a huge game. He doesn't want to let that slip away from him. It's been messy games as well. As we are going to be seeing those Hydras jumping on in. We're going to be seeing multiple Tempests going down. They were the one thing that was really getting something done in this. Those Hydras are going to keep pressing forwards now, as Lurkers will as well. As the last Tempest goes down, there's no threat to those Lurkers anymore. They burrow up. Everything else will die. And Trap types GG, as Rogue will take the series 3-1. And he will